Anyway, sorry for the delay there. This is Chaos, and I'm going to be casting White Raw versus Idra. This is game one of a best of three at the IPL, and we have Idra on the right base, spawning as the green Zerg, and White Raw on the south base as the red Protoss. Anyways, obviously White Raw, fan favorite, famous for his special tactics. Curious to see if he's going to be doing any War Prism play or if he's going to be doing anything really out of the ordinary. And against Idra, the macro master of sorts, it could be pretty strong because Idra dominates people who play very straight up. He's seen so many different builds, he plays so many games, and if you can identify what you're doing, he's so strong. Where White Raw, he's so unconventional with his builds that it makes it very tough to read. And it looks like White Raw will be opening up with a Forge Fast Expand build, which is pretty easy to execute in this map, pretty safe. But when you do this kind of build, it leaves the Zerg in a position where they can decide to do whatever they want. Do you want to take a third base? Do you want to do some fast tech? Do you want to go into an all-in? You have so many options on the table here. I'm really curious to see how White Raw is going to transition here. The Immortal play has been made so strong lately. I'd be crazy to see him do some Immortal drops or some War Prism play. Like, the Robo build's becoming very popular, where normally the Forge Fast Expand just had the obviously, like, the Void Ray kind of move behind it. But Idra obviously has a good sense, and he's played against the Forge Fast Expand so many times. White Raw's building positioning is a little bit different. Usually you close off that left side completely, and you don't allow anything to have access. He's going to slowly probably try to get some gateways or cybers across the across the gap. But he's going to be a little bit open in the meantime, so it looks like Idra is choosing to take the quick third base, which is a pretty common decision. It's going to let him get a huge economy. The only vulnerability here is if White Raw goes Stargate, he can send Void Ray straight over, and it can be a little bit hectic to defend. But we're not going to really know kind of White Raw's decision here until that Cyber finishes. Core is about 3/4 down. And Idra's just trying to deny scouting here. Idra's not a player who likes to get speed too quickly. He prefers just to essentially use standard Zerglings to close off and not waste money on speed till later in. And it looks like a Stargate is going down for White Raw, so we're probably going to see that Void Ray come out. Which, for most players, that's kind of a common build, but for White Raw, it's a little unconventional, just because he usually commits more of the gateway builds, or Dark Templar, or drops. To see him do something more run-of-the-mill like this might throw Idra off. Idra is pretty common for setting up his overlords, though, and trying to do like a pinching kind of scout, just so we can get a sense of what's going on. The only issue is Idra is going to want to have an extra queen out. Otherwise, this could be very tough to hold. First Void Ray is on the way, and you can rest assured that probably will be headed straight to the third. You can opt to go to the main, but it's a little bit tougher to get, just because usually the queens are very close to it and the creep is connected. Idra hasn't even connected his bases yet, but Idra does get the scout here, so he has seen the Stargate, he has seen the gateways, so the whole build is really on the table. The Evo Chamber is halfway done, so he's going to be able to have Spore Crawlers in time as well. So it looks like White Raw has changed into a 5 gateway push here, so this might catch. Oh my god, he has transitioned into 4 more gateways, so he might not even stick on the Stargate for long here. The +1 weapons are going to finish, and he's going to have a really good timing push here. And all Idra thinks is probably a big Stargate play is on the way, so this is going to catch him pretty off guard unless he can get a scout. But he feels like with the Zerglings in so much earlier that he already has the information. Now, Idra is not going to see this. He doesn't have map control because that Void Ray is on the map, and White Raw is going to have such a great attack behind this. The Roach Warren is just finishing up, but I don't know if he can generate enough roaches in time to really mount a attack here. Idra needs to stop drone production outright and just focus on units. But White Raw's starting to move out, and I really feel like Idra's in a really bad position right now, and I'm not sure how he's going to deflect this. I'm not even sure if he saw that move by with those Zerglings. The pylon has been placed. These two Void Rays, a third on the way. This is going to be so strong. He's very all in at this point. White Raw not making many probes right now. The gateway units have started to stream in. And he does not have a lot of roaches here. This looks so strong. It looks like White Raw is just going to crush this expansion. Idra's so far ahead of food, but most of it is in drone counts, not in actual units. And these Void Rays are causing so much damage. But it looks like Idra might be able to push this. He's getting the better concave, but he doesn't really have much to target those Void Rays down. Reinforcements are flooding in. It looks like Idra's going to hold here. Wow, and Idra holds, and he's now really ahead. He's up about 25 food, but White Raw is continuing the pressure here. It's not going to have much Void Rays behind it, but Idra just needs to stay with the roaches and not start to drone up and feel like he's safe. Idra is sitting on around almost 800 minerals, so he's banking so much. 26 lings. One Void Ray is harassing a little bit at the main. Looks like he might lose the third base here, though. This Void Ray is causing so much damage. It might even get the Queen. No, the Queen just lives. And it looks like the battle is still continuing here. And White Raw is just committing so much to this all in. He has to end the game with this, or else he's going to be so far behind. And Idra just keeps on pumping units here. Another 6 roaches and 22 Zerglings on the way. But look at all those zealots for White Raw. It's just going to be a matter of time before those push in. White Raw's build is so strong, but if Idra can hold this, essentially it's good game at this point. But White Raw doing a great job. Looks like he's definitely going to get this third. And the hatchery goes down, so we're down to a 2-base scenario. 7 roaches, about to pop. Roach speed almost ready to go. And White Raw's getting his Void Ray finished there. I don't know, maybe White Raw should consider maybe taking a third at this point. He's done so much damage. We're going to see him probably try to push out and try to do one more game-ending push, though, it looks like. Idra poking out a little bravely off the creep and thinking about engaging, but he's starting to get ahead again, up almost 25 food. He just has so many more drones than White Raw has probes. 10 more roaches. Idra just got to get this third base up and be able to hold this, and just kind of scouting out with these lings, seeing what's going on. And it looks like that armor would be a big asset, but it's this huge gateway against mainly Roach Ling. This is going to be a tough engagement. He's got to watch out that he doesn't get too cut up by the force fields. Thankfully, there's no Colossus or any Robotech here. It's just purely gateway with one supporting Void Ray. And Idra has actually supply blocked White Raw momentarily here. He might lose this third again. And Idra's finally moving at the roaches. It looks like he's going to do a pincer attack here. And he's coming back in great. He's actually targeting down all the sentries, which are so weak, and they really are the backbone of holding this force. The engagement here is not the best for White Raw, and he looks like he's caught, and he's going to lose everything here. Only thing standing is currently is really the Void Ray, but the Queens are here to target that down as well. And there's just so many roaches on the map, and Idra's making 6 more. And it looks like he's going to easily keep his third base up. And Idra's in a really great position just to counterattack and just win the game outright. I'm not sure if he's going to choose to take a fourth or if he's just going to commit to just taking White Raw out. Hydralisk Den is on the way, so he's going to have a ton of DPS. Hydra Roach is great. The Roaches soak up all the damages, and the Hydralisk just deal the DPS behind. And Idra is in great shape. Fourth base is on the way. White Raw did transition to a Robo Bay, but he really needs to get on 3 bases at this point. And Idra's up almost 15 workers at this point. He's looking so strong. Idra just needs to get a few Hydras to finally deal with these Void Rays, and he's going to be ready to push. We have almost, looks like 70 food difference here. And third finally going down for White Raw. White Raw would need a huge amount of forces to be able to hold here. Making Immortals one at a time is, I don't think it's going to be the answer. Immortals are great against Roaches, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to make the amount he needs quick enough. Colossus Den coming, so Colossus are definitely what he needs to handle this mix, but the tech is just so behind, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get the Colossus on the field here. Idra about to max out here, so this is going to be a crazy push. He's finally getting the Hydras in. He's focusing on a lot of creep spread right now, just because when you commit with the Hydralisk, if you don't have creep behind them, they're pretty much dead. Not that I think he has to concern too much, though. He just has so much more. Idra just a little bit hesitant here. He's doing a 2-prong attack, deciding to attack the third as well as the main army. He doesn't even have to trade too cleanly in units here, as he just has so much more, and he's just starting to get through. And once those Hydras are in range, the Void Ray evaporate almost immediately. And these Immortals are doing a great job, but there's just not enough of them. And it looks like Idra is going to take it, and GG. Idra dominates White Raw.